Well, I want to thank you again for your invitation to feel free and share and come to you at any time with my concerns. You had stated you always wanted to hear from me, so with that in mind, perhaps the best place to start is when I was a young man. Many years ago, our congregation foolishly approached me and asked me to be an elder. To be honest, I was reluctant, but I foolishly accepted. It was the first time I actually saw behind the curtain, and it literally broke my heart. I was there when Aaron Rock first came to town, and here's what Aaron shared with me sometime later. Quinton, when I first came to Windsor, I had trouble understanding your concerns and frustrations. But by the time I left Campbell Baptist Church, I would have rather worked at a 7-Eleven convenience store. I don't say this in malice, it's simply the truth. So to help you understand, let me simply say that our elder meetings at Campbell were cloaked in godliness, but in reality were void of any real spiritual fruit. And while I hate to compare notes with a good man like Pastor Rock, my prayer was that God would literally take my life before I ever invested in such a proud and distorted ministry again. To this day, I remember those hot tears just running down my face. 40 years later, and I'm still swimming upstream. And it's been over a year now, and I'm still waiting for that promised answer from you. I have been beyond patient and beyond respectful. So with the same level of humility that Pastor Aaron Rock expressed, I will lean into this topic hard. When I first asked for your vision in regards to the already established men's ministry, that's the men's barbecue, the men's breakfast, and the picnics, I was told you were too busy with life groups and had concerns about burdening the flock. But I was also promised this ministry would be discussed in the next few months. Now, I told you I was going to lean into this hard, so here we go. None of your excuses hold any water. While at Campbell, I had the sole responsibility of launching and overseeing the home Bible studies. For you to suggest that 4 grown men are too busy to even consider a date or vision here is hogwash. No one can be that incompetent. In addition, your concerns for the membership being burdened are ignorant and totally void. None of you have buttered a piece of toast or poured a coffee at these events, and I doubt if any of you could name 3 of the men who served alongside me. In fact, I seriously doubt if you could name even one off the top of your head. You have not spoken to any of them. You have no idea what's involved, and to propose that these people are over-labored by contributing 2 hours every 4 months is absurd. In addition, since then, we have had 2 surge camps to which I've invested several hundred hours personally. I have yet to witness even 1 ounce of this alleged burden concern. So it's time to fess up. This is all lip service, and I don't buy 1 word of your excuses here. It was also at this time, prior to Surge 2024, I received an intriguing email from our pastor who stated, if this isn't the best time for the men's breakfast, please let me know and we can take it from there. The best time for me with men's breakfast, I should say. I turned to Vicky and said, our elders are subtly trying to remove me from this service. Oh, they wouldn't do that. Oh, yes, they would. A genuine letter of concern would have expressed itself with an offer to assist. What can we do to help? How are you doing? How's it coming along? You can't in one breath say you're too busy to even take 3 minutes and look at a calendar, and in the next breath say you will run the entire men's breakfast. By the way, unsolicited offering to run the men's breakfast. You are either too busy or you're not. And if you're not too busy to run the breakfast, then this is a flagrant contradiction with your position. And to be honest, this doesn't even pass the sniff test. It's insulting, to be honest. But rather than being viewed as confrontational again, I graciously turned the other cheek. They said nothing, and I waited patiently for the next few months, as I was told this would be addressed shortly. 7 months later, I asked Ed again in passing. He stated that our directors of ONCA were now to blame. All financial resources were under tight scrutiny. I explained that this was at no cost to the church. Every breakfast, every barbecue, and even the pig roast had been gifted anonymously to the church. Now, you would think an appropriate reply would be, "This is excellent news. Maybe I never realized that. Thank you for sharing it. This certainly changes things." That's how I would have responded. Never in a million years would I have expected our leadership to actually double down at this point and brush this off again. You have totally tipped your hand and you have exposed all your cards. But yet again, I softly accepted your misread. There was no confrontation. Finally, after being approached by numerous people asking about the next man's breakfast, looking forward to it, longing for the next man's breakfast, I broached the subject one last time. And again, I was told the board was too busy to allow a men's breakfast. The board's too busy to allow a men's breakfast. Among the weaker excuses given were Mother's Day, which Mariette simply took a handful of youth to hand out coronations after the service. There was a child's dedication that Phil had under wraps in 5 minutes. Victoria Day. Obviously, you can't have a men's breakfast if there's Victoria Day coming up in the future. And Father's Day, which involved handing out puffs. Could you be any more obvious? Really? I don't know why you have chosen to withhold this blessing from our membership or from our people. It doesn't cost you 1 penny. You don't have to lift 1 finger to help. You are even free from the logistics of organizing it. The sole responsibility you are saddled with is saying yes. So please don't get angry with me. I have not created this situation. I am only gently responding to what you have already forged. My sole aim has only been and always been to serve and bless our people. And since you continually refuse to be truthful, let me speak honestly. Your actions have been deliberate, your actions have been deceitful, and no amount of hugs or Sunday smiles can counterbalance your lack of integrity. Yet you will continually justify your conduct under the ruse that I alone am the problem here. In closing, I don't know if it's true or not, but it's been suggested to me on a number of occasions that this is actually your observed strategy. Throttle any ministry that competes with your spotlight. Eventually, people will forget. Then you maintain an unthreatened position at the gathering as the sole champion and figurehead. Well, regardless, it's clear you have no intention on seeing this through or keeping your word. So I do concede. You can take it here as you first suggested. You go ahead with your circle of plans. Yes, you can hamper these church functions, but you cannot limit me from serving God and my brethren on a day-to-day basis.